Left Me Breathless. Tick-tock. Trauma is like a cancer, which will metastasize with time. When you think you've got it, it comes back. Your bouts of freedom and happiness are moments of repose. You are just in remission. It's a matter of time. You can try and cut the cancer out. But the cancer of trauma has a way of popping up when you least expect it. 2006. Something I wrote and edited 5 years prior to her death. Time is not a thing. Time is linked to matter and does not exist outside it. The fact that a causes B does not mean that in some undefinable existence it will somehow cause C. A time is only an aspect of reality, a movement of all things in existence from birth to decay. It begins with matter and ends thus. There is no time before time. 2008. We might have met in 08. We both worked a job at a call center in San Marcos, Texas, not California. She had an innocent appearance. Hunnish eyes, a round face, a She-Hulk build. I mostly had nothing to do with her until I figured out she was a writer. She was very talented. She would never know anything but this job. I remember on one of our first dates, we were trading stories about who was crazier, as people who are disturbed in their 20s do. Then she told me she masturbated to an Iranian girl being hung by the neck. 2009. 2.5 years before I give her mouth to mouth and hear her lungs exhale that wet sick breath. Events may be conflated for dramatic purposes. She was one of those IHOP types. Studying all night with the coffee and maybe a cigarette. The nicotine would have worked had this been the 90s. It was the 2000s, or the tail end. Tail end, since I saw Obama speak in San Marcos around this time. She is talking about being a lifeguard. Someone went under, and they had to pull him out. He didn't make it. When you see death like that, it changes you. Yes, it does. Written in a county jail, 2009 to 2010. If a dream is worth attempting to figure out, it is worth interpreting. Quarter life crisis. I hit 24 on January 20th. The year of complete physical and mental peak. Push this. Herculean effort. Dreamed I bonded out of this place. I can't get used to this until I am sentenced. Chess, letters to women, interesting roommates, and lots of exercise. I get out and she's waiting for me. To tell me she cheated. I didn't care. We got back together. We moved in together. She had a snake. It was a picky reptile. She suggested we feed it kittens or something in a joking manner. I never really liked feeding the thing. She called him Archie. I called him Boots. I fed him a rat once. She told me to smash its head. Another time, a rat bit me. It naturally did not want to die. Once, I tried to feed it a rat, and the snake did nothing. The rat started biting the snake. I had to get the rat out and was told to feed the serpent later. I objected. Clearly, his sentence had commuted. More so, he was a mammal, and had defended his life with his little rat teeth. This was how I gained my first pet rat. I never hear her parents take responsibility. They never ask the hard questions. Did Dad's coke habit have a connection? I remember when she told me her father did coke, and one time, while he was out of it, his boss was trying to bust in the bathroom and rape her mom. You wouldn't guess any of this by seeing their house in Katy. I grew up on Section 8. This is like heaven, but even of a heaven, people can make a private hell. We must have signed our second lease in early 2011, May 17th, 11 is very close. Then I will cut her down from that rung in the closet and know the taste of her vomited aspiration. What does a man have to go through, Jay? The Cable Company, 2011. They made jokes about the all-seeing eye in training. I had to do a double take about the 6-foot Korean dude teaching the class. It was more of the same. I took calls for cable. People lost their favorite drug and call, shaking with paroxysms of grief because they could not watch the latest unreality show, the last episode of America Has No Talent, or whatever rebooted/rehashed movie they wanted. No one reads anymore. Grown men wanted to watch UFC. Grown men who did not train. Grown men watching other men run around in tights and play with balls. I got a call from an old lady who was crying over her dead husband. I did not offer sympathy. My boss calls me outside. He asks me what was the problem with that call? I did not offer sympathy. Are you a cold-hearted person? Yes, I did not cry at my own mother's funeral. You need to be an actor for us. I can try. You don't sell, and probably won't be successful. What is success? You ask too many questions and don't know what you are doing. 2 weeks' notice later on, walked off with thousands of dollars. A 401k is like a nice unemployment package. Consider it that severance no one gets anymore. I used to think I was rich, before I had any net worth. Kay died as soon after, maybe a week or two. My cats are at the closet door. I open it. She's there, a noose fitted with a piece of silk. I cut her down and give her mouth to mouth. I can still taste the bile. They get there fast, but even fast is too late. She's DOA. I stayed in the apartment. I slept in the same room. Afterward. Moved in CB from Fredericksburg. Almost killed this gangster neighbor by dropping him on his head. Got in a fight with a/I, held them off for 10 minutes, laughed my way through it. Rage is interesting when you pour alcohol on it.